Hey guys. All right. Hopefully we can get this thing working today. I've been trying and it's been kind of a mess, but I think I got things all cleaned up now and you'll be able to hear me and things are going to work. So today I want to talk about vitamin D. It is one of the cheapest vitamins you're ever going to find because, well, it's easy. It's easy to get for the most part, especially during the summertime. As you know, it comes from the sun. So let's go into the presentation of this, and I want to be able to share with you guys because I know for when I would walk in like vitamin or supplement stores, and you look around and you talk to the kid running it, and he's like 19 and he's doing it for a part-time job. Like I got a real sense of like maybe there's a lot of vitamins here and I don't know anything about them. So I want to go through some of the kind of the general ones that we really need to be having on a regular basis. So we're going to start with vitamin D today, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about, kind of what you need to know. So let's jump right into that. Let's see if we can get this screen to work here. We can pop this thing up. We're going to hit play here. All right. So everybody knows it's good for you, right? Vitamin D is, like I said, from the sun, and it's absorbed through your skin, and it's actually changed several times, and it gets to a vitamin D that we can actually use. So, in the summer months, it's real easy to get, and during the winter months, it's not so much. So we have to do something to kind of supplement that. Let's see if skip on to the next one here. Can you overdose? It's possible, but pretty much it's improbable if you're getting it from the sun. You're going to burn first before you're actually going to be into a position where it's overdosed. But the only way you really know about your vitamin D level is if you get tested. It's really the only way to know. Um, we can have those. We can do those tests. We can send you off to a lab with testing, or you can talk to your medical doctor and get that test. It's not a difficult test to get. It's usually done with a CBC or a regular just a blood panel. But make sure that you know what it is, because it does so many things in your body, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But it does so many things. If your body's not functioning well, you very well likely could be low on vitamin D. So here's some of the things it does, and I want to share with you guys. If you just because you might see the first one and say, "Oh, I have high blood pressure," or "My friend does," or something like that. Don't just run out and say, "Oh, I saw this video and it'll help with your blood pressure." Well, here's the thing: is vitamin D is kind of like a hormone in a way where it does so many things that it's going to assist in a lot of things. So it's not to say it's not a treatment for any of these specific things, but it helps these pathways. So one thing it can do is help with blood pressure. It can help harden your bones. It has immune effects, lung and viral infections. Like right now, everyone's going through this COVID-19 thing, and everyone's kind of freaked out. Like the problem is like you look at the news and it's frustrating because the news just portrays this fact that like stay inside and then you'll be safe. But you need to be doing things proactively on your own to help with that, like to help your body heal itself. You have to give your body the ammunition it needs to fight. And that's what I think that a lot of times they just leave this out of the news, and it drives me completely insane. Cholesterol. Obviously, that's a whole other topic, but there's this idea that there is good and bad cholesterol. That's not really how it works. Your body makes cholesterol. It doesn't. Since when did your body start making things that is bad for you, right? That's not how it works. Your body's always trying to fight. It does not mess up. Your immune system does not mess up. It does exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Your immune system does not go after good tissue. So sometimes you'll hear things like autoimmune disease. I'm sorry, your body does not turn on itself and fight itself. Now, it will go after bad tissue. And if you have bad tissue, that's something we need to work with. But again, next part. Hormone production, insulin resistance. And this next slide I'm going to show you real quick. Vitamin D is believed to help improve the body's sensitivity to insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar levels and thus reducing the risk of insulin resistance, which is often a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Now, I understand that insulin and blood sugars and all this stuff can be kind of confusing. So what I want to do is just give you the basic concept that your insulin, your body, your pancreas makes insulin. And insulin is kind of like a taxi cab or a Uber, right? So I'm showing my age, right? But it's like an Uber, and it will grab up sugar in your bloodstream and take it to a cell. So if you can imagine the insulin, and it's got the blood sugar attached to it. When it gets to that cell can either accept it or reject it. And if you have insulin resistance, that means like the little receptor site for the insulin on that cell is going to be like, it's going to find it and it's going to bounce right off. It doesn't want it. So when you start exercising and lowering your sugars and getting enough vitamin D levels, your body will start accepting it again. And that's what we want. We want your cells to be able to take in that insulin and that sugar and push it through the system. Because if you don't, it bounces right back up into the bloodstream, and then you have too much sugar in your blood, right? And then you're going into diabetes. So hopefully, I mean, I know that was kind of maybe deep for some of you, but I want to try to make things as simple as possible. We do have, there are differences in vitamins. Some of them are fat-soluble vitamins, and some of them are water-soluble vitamins. Now, the fat-soluble vitamins can actually get kind of stuck in the fat cells, and you can have too many of them. You can have too much vitamin. So the basic fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, and K. I'm sorry, A, D, E, and K. That may not have come out clear. They best absorb when you take them with fats. So if you can get some sort of fat to ingest with these, they're going to go in your body well. And like I said earlier, they can store in your body. So do you know what helps the fats break down? So if there is an organ that can help with this, I would bet some of you may not have one anymore. Can you tell me what it is in the comments below? So if you think about this, it's an organ in your body that can actually make kind of like a fatty substance and kind of help the vitamins break down. We'll give that just a minute. Oh, I have a hint here. It sits under the liver, and you guys may have heard of it. It is called the gallbladder. I hope some of you got it. And it's hard for me to look at the comments and do all this at one time, so I just can't do it well. All right, where does vitamin D come from? There are several sources you can get it. You can take it in a supplement form, which is what I do a lot of times. And one of the best ways you'll see here is fish liver oil. Like you can do it. Some people use tuna, some use cod. I'm actually allergic to tuna, so I don't do it tuna-wise. But it's one of the best ways you can get it. Obviously mushrooms, salmon, egg yolk, meat fat. There's good ways to get it. But I will tell you guys, and I'm going to show this in a picture here in a minute. But one of the worst ways, it tastes disgusting to actually wake up in the morning and take a big cup of liver, any kind of fishy tasting in the morning. It's gross. But it has to happen. It's good for you. You really do need it. And it's a good way to get in. Liver is a fantastic way to, if you're eating liver, it's going to help your liver regenerate. It's a good thing. Okay, so water-soluble vitamins. These are the ones that if you take, which is like vitamin C as an example, if you take too much of that, you can get some diarrhea. But at the end of the day, you can't really overdose on them because you're just going to extract it out through your urine. So it's a good thing if you're pumping up and megadosing, that's okay. So there's been some Chinese studies that say if you megadose on vitamin C, that's one way that your body, you're getting the fuel it needs to actually fight viruses. And while we're talking about that, I mean, there's literally viruses in this room, hundreds of trillions of them probably. But you've got to work with how your body responds to it. Your innate response to any kind of virus or germ or any of that kind of stuff. That's really the thing that makes a difference. So, you can't walk around and Lysol everything. I mean, you can, but if you just pump up your own immune system, that way when your body comes in contact with it, your white blood cells start firing, you get a cytokine response. You guys may have read something on cytokine responses, and frankly, it's kind of funny how if you read some of those papers, and I'm sure none of you are as nerdy as I am on some of this stuff, but if you read that, they go, oh, not a cytokine response. Well, cytokines are basically like little messengers that say, hey, white blood cells, go to this area. The body needs help. it's actually normal. I mean, that's really what you want, a cytokine response. You want your body to like go to a problem. For instance, when I rolled my ankle a couple weeks ago, most people would say like, don't put ice on it, or I'm sorry, put ice on it and get it up and don't be on it. And you know what? For the most part, I tried to walk on it or stretch it. If I couldn't walk on it, it was too much to walk on it for me for a few days. So I just would sit on the couch and I would stretch it and pull it and put heat on it. Now that goes against conventional wisdom, right? But what we're doing is working with the body and allowing the body to actually bring in white blood cells to that area. Whenever there's heat on it, you're getting that cytokine response. The cells are yelling for white blood cells and healing to happen. We actually want inflammation to happen in that area. So that's kind of what that is. Stress. You guys have all heard of cortisol, right? So if cortisol levels goes up, it works in opposition to vitamin D. It doesn't work. You have to keep those stress levels down, guys. I know that's easier said, especially in trying times like this. People are stressed out, people are worried, there's bills to pay and this kind of stuff. But here's the thing, guys. There's ways to keep your stress under control. You can exercise, take a little walk outside for 15 or 20 minutes. I have CBD here. I know some of you cannot take that due to past, and it's not, you just can't take things like that. If you can, it's a great tool just to kind of like calm down a little bit, let your body kind of, and the problem is when you get stressed, you start making emotional decisions. They're not logical decisions. So you want to be able to keep your body at a kind of an even keel so that you can actually make good decisions. So keep your stress levels down, guys. I know it's easier said than done, but you can do it, and there is some supplementation that can help, especially if your body's missing it. You got to keep that vitamin D up. So a while ago, I told you guys that it's a signaler, but it can affect so many things. It's so important that you get enough in. So estrogen levels, hormone levels, asthma, insulin resistance, even the liver and blood sugar all depend on vitamin D to be healthy. How much should you take? Now, this is where things get interesting because there's something called the RDA, which is the recommended daily allowance. When you take the recommended daily allowance, you are kind of like taking the bottom of the barrel of what they say you need this to not get disease. So what I'm going to tell you is I would like for you to be up here a little ways. Now, I didn't say overdose, but up here a ways. So 400 to 800 is kind of the I use, which is called international units. It's just a measurement of what they say this is kind of recommended for people. So here's the age ranges on that. 0 to 1 is 400 IU. Now, we're not going to crush up pills or take a baby outside and let them burn in the sun, right? But they're going to get that through mom's milk. If their mom is breastfeeding, that's where we're getting that. And if you're not breastfeeding, make sure that the formula that you're using, I'm hoping it's a good formula, not just some garbage, but make sure it has good vitamins in it, okay? 1 to 70 is 600 IU. So I'm going to say maybe pump that up a little bit. 71 plus, 800 IU. So basically with the RDA, like I said, those are not the optimum levels. Those are, don't get below this or you could be experiencing disease. So I would say maybe pump that up a little bit. Look at what you're taking. Be mindful about it. So here's just kind of a funny picture of these kids lining up to get their cod oil in the mornings before school. And, I think they used to put like molasses with it or something a little bit sweeter so that you would, it made me remind me of Mary Poppins. And that's my daughter when we went to Disney a couple years ago. But that was one of her favorite characters was Mary Poppins. It reminds me of that song. All right. All right, guys, hopefully that makes a lot of sense. And if you guys have any questions, you can always go to standardprocess.com and you go to patient portal at the top. And then basically you'll just put in that little unique code, and I can put that code below this video, and they will actually like send this right to your house. It's not like an auto ship or something like that. You're not stuck into doing anything, but it's a way for you to, especially during the winter months, you may make sure that you're getting enough vitamin D in. And I don't know about you guys, but like I can't even cook salmon in my house without my family freaking out. So it stinks and it's gross and all this kind of stuff. So we probably don't get enough of it in the food. So you really need to be taking it. All right, guys, You guys have a wonderful day. Hope this made a lot of sense. And if you've enjoyed this, please comment below and like it and share it out with your friends so that they understand, hey, what we're doing here is different. We're not just trying to, we do want to keep you adjusted, but we also want to keep you healthy. We want to keep your body working on the inside at different angles. So guys, appreciate you guys and hope to be in the office again real soon. All right, take care, guys. Oh, totally forgot about this. This goes back a little bit with mothers who are breastfeeding, or actually even with baby in the tummy. They need to be taking about 6,400 IU's of vitamin D to even get to the baby, to get that baby the vitamin D it needs. So even as you're pregnant, you need to make sure you're getting enough vitamin D in. I thought that was a really interesting study. And here's the last one. My bad. Kind of broke into my end pitch there at the end before I got done. So sunscreen. Sunscreen is important, but I want you to be careful because the FDA came out with this report a while back that says there's some concerns over sunscreen. And the problem with sunscreen is that if you have chemicals in it that are causing cancer, it's worse than being out in the sun. And so when my kids go out in the sun, we go in the pool or something like that, I always like make them go play for a little while first, and then we come back and put good sunscreen on. If you just put on sunscreen right away, you're missing all the vital vitamin D that the sun's giving you. So what's the point in that? Like, get outside. Obviously, I don't want them to burn, but I want them to get some sunshine, some natural sunshine in. And I mean, God put it up there. We're supposed to be getting this in. So make sure that if you're going to let your kids go out and play in the sun, let them go play for a while and then bring them back in and screen them up. We don't want them to burn or cause problems either, because like I said, too much is not a good thing either. We're not trying to burn them. All right, guys, this is the end for real this time. All right, have a great day. Talk to you soon.